Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going over this Hogue AR-15 stock that you guys see in my hand and you saw throughout the intro. It's a pretty simple product, which is certainly not a bad thing. Sometimes simple is good. So we're going to get into some of the details and then come back and let you know what I think of it overall at the end. The first thing most folks notice about this stock is the coloration here on the rubber overmolded parts up here on top as well as on the back here. It's sort of a blended tan and black coloration in there. I think it looks pretty good. They have a few other blended colors as well as some solid colors and female friendly colors as well. I know they have pink. I believe they may have purple as well. So those are certainly some things that are going to appeal to folks. Getting into the actual features of it here, they have 3 quick detach sling attachment points as well as traditional sling attachment points here on both portions of the stock as well as the rear here. And the quick attachment points, as we'll show you here, are not anti-rotational. So some folks may view that as a con. However, if you look at most quick detach points here, it's going to actually become anti-rotational to a point because the actual body of the stock will stop it from rotating beyond certain points here. And that's going to apply, if I can actually take it out there, that's going to apply to all the different points along the stock. So really any of the 3 will have that function of sort of self-induced anti-rotation. The rubber butt pad portion of the stock here is removable, so with it on there, the stock weighs in at 8.3 ounces, and without it, it comes in at 6.8 ounces, so it's removable just with 2 simple screws there, comes right off, and is completely usable without it, no function impairment at all. This particular stock is mil-spec dimension, but they do make them for commercial spec extensions as well, so to put it on, pretty much exactly what you'd expect, same as other AR-15 stocks. This little lever here is what's going to actuate the adjustment points throughout, and to install it, you're just going to push it down all the way. Now, notice there on the adjustment lever, there is some texturing on there. It's going to give you a good grip on it, and one thing I do like that some of the stocks out today don't have is that the lever is protected. Not really a huge deal, but it can be bumped accidentally by gear on those types of stocks, so just something to think about. Putting it on, again, very simple. You just line it up, and we're going to put the pressure down here. And if there's one sort of con, if you will, for this stock, is that this lever, in my opinion, is a little bit too short. So you can't really grab it with your hands. You kind of have to use a tool because it really is very close to being not grabbable, if you will. I'm sure that's not a word. But at that point, you can just adjust it all the way out and all the way in. The stock is pretty minimalist in terms of dimensions. You're not going to get any sort of increased cheek piece or anything like that over your standard stock here, but obviously the other features we talked about are a good improvement. And one thing that's noticeable over this, which is a very rattly system here, the standard M4 style stock, is this one has rubber overmolded pieces that go all the way through, and that actually helps to keep the stock sort of rattle free, which we'll show you here coming up in a second. But that's sort of a nice piece that the other ones don't have, and that goes all the way through out here to the rear, which helps keep the fit, if you will, on the receiver extension very good. Now, obviously, when you see this, the first thing that comes to mind is the Magpul MOE stock. MOE stock's a fantastic stock. I've used it here on the channel since before there was a channel. Both good stocks. This one here obviously is going to give you a little bit more comfort with the rubber, especially in cold conditions over the MOE, but otherwise pretty similar minus the quick detach points there. So something to consider in terms of dimension. And another one that is sort of similar to, at least in size anyway, is going to be the SOP Mod Bravo from B5 Systems, an excellent stock as well. But as you can see here, the Hogue is a little bit more minimalist in terms of cheek weld. I threw it back on the receiver extension so we could show you what I was talking about with the rubber overmolding and how it fits on there. There is a little bit of play, which we'll show you here, but it's not very loud due to the rubber, and really it's pretty minimal, especially when compared to what you get with your standard mil-spec stock. I think the only big detail that we left out is going to be price. I believe the MSRP on the black is $59 and on the colors is going to be $69. Of course, that's MSRP out there, street price. You guys will be able to find them for less. But like I mentioned earlier, it's a minimalist stock and it does that very well. The overmolded portion does not grab beards. I talked to several of my viewers that have these and they report that it doesn't do it, so I'm here to report that and pass it along as well. So I know that was a big concern for a lot of folks, and that doesn't seem to be an issue there. But other than that, seems to work well, has a decently snug fit for not having any sort of retention devices like some of the other stocks do, or clamping devices I should say. And it does what it says and seems to do it well. If you guys have any other questions about the stock, you can always post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.